Oh, with the doors open at precincts, we now wait for caucus goers to make their voices heard. Larissa Leon joining us from a Metro Democrat precinct at North High School. I see that you have a voter with you, Larissa.
Actually, Stephanie, we have a precinct chair with us right now. This is Laura Reynolds. Laura, talk to me a little about what are you anticipating for tonight?
It's going to be people speaking their minds and talking about their favorite candidate and why they're voting for that one. And I'm looking forward to hearing the discussion.
As am I, and it's kind of cold out there as we've been talking about. Do you think that'll affect turnout tonight?
I hope not. I hope people recognize that there's going to be plenty of hot air in here, so they'll warm up.
And how many people are you expecting to show up tonight?
I was told to expect 70 people for my precinct, but there's 3 precincts in the auditorium, so it could be quite a few people.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. We've got a lot in store, a long road ahead of this caucus coverage, so stick with us, but I'm going to send it back to you, Stephanie.
Larissa, thank you very much. Now, a poll released this past weekend sent a shakeup in the 2024 race as the Iowa poll shows former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley surpassing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Former President Trump remains the frontrunner, though, with 48% of likely Republican caucus goers favoring Trump. Haley, though, now polling at 20%, with DeSantis trailing behind at 16%. Former President Trump, who has consistently led the polls over the last several months, was feeling confident this morning, telling supporters he's sure his supporters will come through with a win tonight. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking on behalf of Trump and taking a shot at Nikki Haley.
That's right. Nikki Haley is a neocon. That's the part of the Republican Party we've had enough of. And we don't need a Republican candidate for president that's being supported by Democrats. That's not who Iowa wants to win.
At a campaign stop at the Drake Diner in Des Moines this morning, Haley was asked if she believes DeSantis should drop out because he and Haley are nearly neck and neck in recent polls. But Haley insists she's not even worried about him and believes in her own campaign.
I've never said when somebody should get out of the race. It's very personal to get into a race like this. It's very personal to get out. We've been focused on our race. We've been focused on our message. We've been focused on talking to real voters. My opponents can do whatever they want to do. We're going to keep on going until we win.
Good job.
We've heard from the candidates. Now let's head out to a few precinct sites where voters are showing up. Local 5's Dana Searles is at Indianola Middle School, a Republican precinct site, but probably get very busy there tonight. Dana, I see a few people behind you.
Stephanie, we are in the cafeteria of Indianola Middle School. That's right. People are starting to come in. You can see there's about a handful of people in here. A lot more actually just walked in as I started speaking. Check-in is underway. I was speaking with some of those precinct volunteers, and they were a little unsure about how turnout. They were hoping for a strong turnout, but were a little bit confused or concerned about how the weather might impact that. But like I said, we'll be here. It sounds like right now what we've seen, steady people coming, and it sounds like it'll be a pretty good turnout here. But earlier today, I spoke with Governor DeSantis about his final push in Iowa. I'll be at his watch party later tonight. So here's what he had to say about what he has to say for Iowans going into caucus night.
I do think that you are going to see movement once people go to the caucus site and listen to that, and I think that'll help make final decisions. And I don't think that's just a small number of people. I think there's a pretty decent chunk of folks who, you know, they just don't, they haven't made a final decision yet.
So we'll find out later if that stands true. But later in the show, I'll be talking to the chair of Warren County Republicans, and I'll be talking to him a little bit about what he's seen around the county, the setup that has gone into this precinct, and what he expects the state of the race to kind of look like tonight. But for now, we'll toss it back to you, Stephanie.
Dana, thank you. Tonight, the Democratic Party is holding party business after losing their first in the nation caucus status in 2020. This year, caucus goers will participate through mail-in ballots rather than an in-person caucus. Those mail-in ballots they were sent out last week. You could send them in. The results will be released on March 5th. Which is Super Tuesday. As we continue our coverage, Local 5's Connor O'Neill is at Winterset High School, where Democrats will be caucusing later tonight. Connor, what are things like there?
Okay.
Yeah, Stephanie, it's pretty quiet here right now, and I'll take a little step out of the way right now. I don't know if it's the cold weather or anything, but it's just caucus workers. There's a couple caucus goers here, though. I've talked to one of the caucus workers who's still setting things up. They're waiting for people to come in at 7 o'clock tonight when the caucus begins. She told me that they're not anticipating a lot of people to come here tonight for this Democratic caucus at this precinct, but she said if they get 20 people coming in, that's a win in their book. And I also spoke with one caucus goer. He told me one of the most important issues for him as a Democrat is the economy, making the economy just better for everyone, including himself. Other issues, when I've talked to Democrats and caucus goers here, there's just a couple, like I said, but they tell me curbing gun safety and just more affordability and accessibility for health care, and with that comes abortion rights, more protections for those. Now, as a reminder, right now, as it stands, states make a decision on abortion rights, but some of the caucus goers that I've spoke with said they want somebody who can help stop those statewide abortion bans, and those are just some of the issues that matter to them. In Winterset, Connor O'Neill, Local 5 News. Back to you, Steph.